Welcome to our Energy Connect studio at ADIPEC 2022. I'm delighted to have sitting next to me again, Girish Saligram, CEO of Weatherford.
Julian, thanks so much for having me again. It's such a pleasure to be back.
And yeah, really good to have you back. I mean, it's been a year since the last ADIPEC, since we last spoke, but you've made some significant progress. Can you elaborate some of the main highlights since we last spoke?
Sure, look, the company is doing really well. We've had a really good run. The team's performing really well. Last fall we refinanced our debt and really put our capital structure in a path of better efficiency. We have continued to increase our profitability. We have improved our free cash flow generation. We actually had 2 consecutive years of free cash flow generation and are on to our third one, which is pretty remarkable because in our past 32 years, Weatherford's never had 2 consecutive years of free cash flow generation. We just announced our third quarter earnings as well, and we have now had 2 positive quarters of net income and 2 consecutive ones, which again is an unprecedented feat, not to mention that we had them coupled with free cash flow generation. No, so look, the team's doing great. We are winning share back. We are increasing our profitability. We're generating cash, and we're really getting back into this mode of growth and being a company that adds value to customers.
Well, guys, that's really good to hear. And how do you feel that your refreshed operating paradigm is having the right impact? And I think we can hear it is.
No, absolutely. And look, the team's really embraced it. And this is really about a change in the way we do things. Okay. It's about how we serve customers, but also how we think about stuff. So we are really becoming a company that is asset lighter, much more focused on asset utilization, getting the best bang for the buck. We have changed the way our product lines and our geozones interact. A lot more collaboration, and it's really a company that is now running with a much tighter, much clearer fashion.
Well, I think in this environment, that's really important. And in these times that we're in, what's your outlook for the energy sector? I mean, it's obviously in the news with sort of the geopolitical issues going on, but also an increased demand for energy.
Indeed, look, I think it's an increasingly important topic that everyone has these days. So, and really, it's the balance of energy security on the one hand and energy sustainability. And it's not, as the theme of the conference has been, it's not an or equation, it's an and equation. We've got to do both. I think as players in the industry, we've got a responsibility to make sure that we are driving more sustainability, but we've also got to get more efficient and help the world meet its energy requirements.
And on the back of that, how is that helping Weatherford then driving this growth that you've seen and you've worked really hard to go to?
Yeah, look, I think it's a really good backdrop for us. The macro outlook for energy is, I think, very constructive. We are seeing growth in most of the regions that we operate in, spearheaded by the Middle East, where we expect to see significant growth, not just this year, but also next year. And it's really where we have been able to win a lot of business. We are counting on this region to really spearhead our growth into the future.
Well, that is really good to hear. And how is Weatherford looking to help with companies trying to transform and become less carbon intensive, but also more efficient? So I think that's...
Yeah, so look, we look at it sort of in 3 different pillars. The first one is transparency and reporting. So we've just released this year our first sustainability report that really lays out our ambitions. We've announced that we will be net zero by 2050. We've signed on to the UN Global Compact, but really providing a deeper level of transparency and visibility into metrics. So that's going to be something we do every year. The second aspect is how do we drive sustainability and a reduction in our carbon footprint into our own operations. So that's everything from optimizing our footprint to how do we drive remote operations, how do we drive more automation. So we've got some great technologies in managed pressure drilling and tubular running services that really exemplify this. Our Vero system in TRS, for example, really reduces it down to 1 person, which when you think about an offshore environment is huge from the number of people that you needed. And the third is energy transition platforms. So we've got 3 platforms we've laid out today: geothermal, CCUS, and plug and abandonment, that we're making some significant inroads on. And we're working on several others that hopefully we can talk about in a more public setting in the future. But it's something that we are very excited about. We've been a leader in geothermal for over 20 years with our high temperature tools. In CCUS, we've got some great technology on the sequestration and monitoring aspect. And then in plug and abandonment, we've got an integrated offering and some great technology again. So we're excited about all 3 of those.
Well, Girish, that sounds, exciting times ahead. And wanted to touch also on, we're here at ADIPEC in the Middle East, but you won quite a lot of significant wins with Aramco in Saudi, but PDO in Oman as well. Can you just talk a little bit about that and the significance of them?
Yeah, look, they're terrific. Both of them are terrific contracts. We're very proud of having been chosen by PDO and Aramco respectively. Now, both of these are integrated contracts. On PDO, it's an integrated drilling contract. In Aramco, it's a what they call an LSTK, but same sort of concept on re-entry and intervention. So both of these contracts are great because they really bring our best abilities to the fore. It allows us to do what we do best, but in an integrated fashion, providing that project management and really bring not just our technology, but our people to bear in the most cost-efficient fashion for our customers, as well as realizing it for ourselves. It also gives us a very stable base of business in both of these countries that then we can bring and add on other aspects to it. So tremendous achievements. We're very excited about both contracts.
Oh, well, really good to hear. And obviously, just before we go, we're here at ADIPEC. It's day one, but what a busy start.
No, it's a terrific start. Look, it's great. We talked last year about being back in person. It feels like the number of people has multiplied, and really this whole notion, the theme this year, right, about what energy really should be, right? We've got to have energy security. It's got to be sustainable. It's got to be affordable. I think it's really terrific to see the number of people, the luminaries in the industry, and really the brains coming together. So it's an exciting conference, and thrilled to be here.
Great, Girish. Well, thank you so much for giving me your time today and popping by the Energy Connect studio.
Not at all. My pleasure, and thanks again for having me.